And now Hall of Fame President Stan Smith will present Mary with her official International Tennis Hall of Fame medal. And Nick, if you would please assist Mary with her blazer.
All right. Can I say hello to you guys? Okay. Wow. This day has finally arrived. Been waiting for this for 6 months. It was announced in January. Nick, thank you so much for introducing me today. It means a lot to me. Thank you for all those kind words, and I've always appreciated your heart, your humor, your honesty, and how you're direct. And thank you so much for introducing me today. Love you. So there's a quote that I read when I was about 18, 19 years old, and it said, "The goal is only a..." Sorry. I thought I would start crying a lot later than this. "The goal is only as worthy as the effort required to achieve it." And I remember reading that at a young age in the beginning of my professional career, and how much that really spoke to me, because how difficult things are and how much hard work and dedication it takes to achieve your goals and your dreams. And like Nick said, all the blood and the sweat and the tears that it takes is worth it. And I realized the great dreams that I had in tennis, I put them so high, and I thought to be able to achieve them, it's going to take everything of me. And like Nick said, I didn't hold back anything. And I always felt that I give 100% of myself, and that I can be very proud of and have no regrets. And dreams are like fuel. And I think my dream in tennis was to one day win the French Open. And that's what always kept me going, to think about, why am I playing tennis? The mornings when you don't want to wake up and get out of bed, when you're tired and you're sore and you just don't want to do it. But why am I doing it? It's for the dream that I had, and that was the fuel that helped me every single day when I wanted to get up and have to do what it took to accomplish my goals and to accomplish my dreams. Tennis has taught me so much in life. It's such a great teacher. It's taught me that, like I said, anything that you want to achieve doesn't come easy. It comes with hard work and dedication and sacrifice. It taught me that you need to believe in yourself, no matter what anyone says. To always believe in your dreams. Sacrifice, dedication, hard work, respect. So many incredible values that it's taught me throughout my life. And of course, the tears that you sow in pain, they later become tears of joy. It's incredible how I started playing tennis, why I started playing tennis. I wanted to be a pediatrician, originally by the age of 7. That's what I thought that I was going to do and that I thought I was going to become. But obviously, God had another plan for my life. I followed one of my friends from school, who was a great junior player in Florida. I was 10 years old. And we used to spend time together after school, do our homework together, or spend the night on the weekends at her house. And one day I just followed her to her tennis lesson. And someone asked me if I wanted to play. I said, sure. So I was given a racket. I hit a few balls, and I got changed to a couple courts, and at the end of it, about 45 minutes, an hour later, a very tall man came to me, and he said, I've never seen you here before in my club. What's your name? How old are you? And how long have you been playing tennis? I said, well, I'm Mary. I'm Rachel's friend. I'm 10 years old. I'm from here, and I've been playing about 45 minutes. And he's like, no, how many years have you been playing? And I said, no, it's my first day. And so when I told him that, he said, well, I want you to come back the next day with your parents. I said, okay. So I ran off to find Rachel, and I said, I think I'm in trouble. I have to come back with my parents tomorrow. And I came back with my parents the next day, and I can remember it as if it was yesterday. They were just standing over there talking to the coach, and I'm waiting, and then finally they come back and they say, okay, Mary, well, you're going to start to play tennis now, just like Rachel after school. I said, okay. So if it wasn't for my friend in school, and if it wasn't for that tennis coach that saw me play the first day, which obviously you must have seen something, and asked me to come back the next day, I would have never come back. I would have never been on a tennis court, and I would have never come back the next day, and I probably would have never played tennis again. So thank you, Rachel, and thank you, Kevin, for being here today. It's so special. I'm so happy that you're here. It really means a lot to me that you guys are here. Thank you so much. So obviously I started to play a lot. And I had many different coaches along my journey in tennis. And one of my coaches early on that also helped me progress throughout my tennis and my early stages was Alvaro Betancourt, who's here. He just coached me when I was 11, 12, spending hours with me. I was supposed to have only 1 hour lesson. Alvaro would always give me 2. Always wanted to do more, always wanted to do more. And the hard work, the hours, the sweat, everything that you put in, all the time to help build my game at an early stage. And I'm just so grateful for that. And I'll always remember you always telling me to smile when I was on the court. Maybe I was too serious. Thank you, Alvaro. Yeah. When I was 13 years old, my father decided to take me out of school. And from the very first lesson that I had in tennis, my dad was always there from the beginning. And he became my coach alongside the other coaches that I had and would take me every weekend with a huge basket of balls and practice stroke over stroke, repetition over hour. And when I was 13, he decided that he wanted to take me out of school. And I was quite sad because I loved school. And we moved to my mother's country in France. And that's when I started training probably 8 hours a day. And that was all that I did, just trained all day long. And it was very hard, those years in my life. Became pro at 14 years old, very young, thrown into an adult world, expected to act like an adult, think like an adult, speak like an adult, but we can't, we're young. And the training was very hard, to say the least. And many, many hours, like Nick said, my brother was on the court with me as my sparring partner. And much was written about my father's behavior during that time, during those years, that he was my coach, that he traveled with me. We traveled as a unit, as 4 of us, my mom, my father, my brother, and I, and a sparring partner sometimes as well. And I know that it's been a lot of talk about what happened as my father as my coach, how difficult it was for me. But I don't want to go into all of those details right now. At 18 years old, I had the help from the late Georgina Clark of the WTA Tour. And sometimes we feel like we get angels sent to us on our path in our lives and come and help us at specific moments when we really needed it. And she was definitely one of those people who came at a time in my life when I needed help. And she helped me to get out of a situation that was very difficult. And I'm grateful for her help. At that point in my life, when I was 18 years old, I thought about quitting tennis. And I thought, what do I want to do with my life? Do I want to keep playing tennis? Do I want to go to school? Or do I just want to get a job? And I took some time off and I went to stay with a friend of mine. And I'll never forget that time. She took me in, had just gotten married, 2-bedroom apartment. And here's someone that comes in and took me in like a sister in a time that was so critical and pivotal in my life. And I want to thank Susie for being here and for that time and how much she helped me in that difficult time in my life. So thank you so much. So life isn't easy. We have our ups and our downs. There's pain, there's struggles, there's difficulties, there's hardships. For everyone, no matter what you do in life, we all face those things, and it's how you deal with them. And I know for me, tennis has made me resilient, and it's taught me how to persevere, to never give up, to get back up every single time that I felt like I was knocked down. I was able to get back up and to learn to persevere, to never quit, to never give up, no matter what, to always keep going. And despite all the success and the victories and the fame and everything that I achieved and had in my life, I always felt like something was missing. So at 18, I decided that I'd keep playing tennis. And that's when I had called Nick to ask him if he would coach me. And I was a bit nervous because I know he'd been coaching so many incredible champions at the time, and I don't know if he was going to coach me, so I felt like my first practice was an interview, if he was going to accept me or not. And after practice, he'd come back the next day, so I said, okay, I think that means he's going to coach me now. And you know, Nick, you also came at a time in my life that was very difficult, and it means so much for me that you're here today, that you introduced me, because you also were like a second father to me at that time in my life. And I know, yeah. I could feel your heart for me. I know that you cared about me, that you had my best interest at heart. There were no hidden agendas. And that you wanted me to grow, not only as a tennis player, but as a person, that you cared about me as a person as well, and not just as a tennis player. Thank you so much, Nick, for everything that you've done for me and in my career, on and off the court. It means so much to me. Yes, as Nick said, a year later, I won my first Grand Slam tournament. which was incredible. That year in January, we set the goals in the beginning of the year, and I said, okay, my goal is to win a Grand Slam tournament and finish in the top 5. So by 2 weeks into the year, I won the Australian Open, and I was number 3 in the world. I'm like, okay, now I need to sit down and revisit the goals for the rest of the year. So success came fairly quickly after I decided to come back and play tennis again. And as my career went on, I had incredible success and being number 3 in the world. And it probably looked like, from the outside and to the whole world, that I had everything. And that my life was great. And that it was perfect. And that I was living the dream. And that everyone probably wanted to live the life that I was living. But no one could see inside. No one could see my heart. No one could see the pain or the suffering that I was carrying around with me every day, or the emptiness, or the fact that I always felt like something was missing in my life. And I could never figure out what that was. I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what it was. Until one day, there was a fellow player on the tour that I noticed. It was so special and so different than everybody else. And I said, this girl, she's got something. And she started to become my friend. And I really felt that she cared about me as a person and not just as a tennis player, was concerned about me. And we became friends on tour. And meeting Linda was a turning point in my life. Linda, you shared your faith with me. And I'll never forget the conversation that we had. When you asked me if I knew who Jesus was and if I had a personal relationship with him, I thought, no, I don't know what that is. And how you explained how much God loves me and that he had a plan for my life. And I just knew what you were telling me was the truth. And I knew that what you were telling me was speaking directly to my heart. And I knew that what you told me was exactly what I was looking for. So I want to thank you, Linda, from the bottom of my heart, for having the boldness to speak to me about Jesus, who in March of 2000 became my Lord and Savior and changed my life forever. I knew that I wanted to have the assurance, 100% in my heart, of salvation, which you had, and I had never met anybody before that had that. And I knew that that's what was missing in my life. And the moment that I gave my life to Jesus is when he came and he touched my heart. He healed my heart. And I know that he had forgiven me for everything, for all of my sins, that I was saved, that I had eternal life, and that I was going to heaven. And that's what gave me the greatest peace in my heart, more than anything in this world. And that's what I was looking for, was peace. And that fulfilled my heart. That emptiness that I had and that I felt was filled. And I've never felt empty or that something was missing in my life or didn't have that peace or that joy from that day until today. It's been 19 years. So thank you, Linda. I love you. So from that moment on, I knew that it was God that gave me the gift to play tennis. It wasn't my plan. I wanted to be a pediatrician. God had another plan for my life, and he gave me the gift to play tennis, just like when Kevin saw me play the first day, thought I'd been playing for years like other kids. Because God gave me that gift, and it was his plan for my life to play tennis. So I'm so grateful for that. And the second miracle, the first miracle is obviously knowing Jesus in my life. The second miracle is winning Roland Garros. That was always a dream, and it was always so difficult, and I thought it would never happen in my life. And showing up to that tournament and always having difficulties dealing with the media, the press, the stress, the expectations of the whole country riding on your shoulder, I was able to go to that tournament in peace and just know that everything was in God's hands and I could just relax and just give 100% and enjoy it. So to win the French Open was my ultimate dream in tennis, and it came true. And also win the doubles with Martina Hingis was like the cherry on top to do the singles and the doubles. So it was just incredible to see my dream in tennis come true. And my third miracle was being able to forgive my father. As I said earlier, it's very well known the relationship that we had and things that happened in the past. And for me, when I left my family at 18, I was never going to see my father again. I was never going to talk to him again. So at 25 years old, having won the French Open, and knowing how I was forgiven and that I had changed, it was very clear that I needed to forgive my dad. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without the Lord. And to be able to forgive him, and that not only that I was able to forgive him, but the miracle is that my heart was healed because it was shattered into 1,000 pieces and it was broken. But my heart was healed. And not only that, but also then I had a love for my father that I never had before. And our relationship was restored. And it took some time, but we had a beautiful father-daughter relationship after that. After I won the French Open the following year, I had injuries, and I was out for 7 months. I went down to 300 in the world. I was totally out of shape. And by the time I was able to start to come back and train, it was like I had to start from zero. And I had an incredible team around me that believed in me, and I knew that my time wasn't over and that there were still great things for me to accomplish. So I always listened to that voice that was in my heart. At 2005, I was 30 years old, and I had one of my best years on tour. People thought that I was done, and that why is Mary still playing? She's won the French, that was her dream. She's 30 years old, she should just retire. But I knew in my heart that I wasn't done. I remember I was at the French Open at Roland Garros just before the 2005 edition. I was in the gym working out, and there was a man, a French tennis coach, that came up to me, and he said, "Oh, Mary, you're here." I said, "Yes." "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I'm here to play the French Open." "Oh, really?" And he laughed at me. I said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, okay, well, maybe you'll win a match or two." I thought, what? I said, okay, and I just smiled, but inside I said to myself, well, we'll see who's laughing last. And I made the finals. So for me, it just taught me to always believe in yourself, to always listen to that voice inside, no matter what anybody says, that you can't do it, but you can, to always believe in that. And I always played with all of my heart. I always did my best. I always learned from my mistakes. I always wanted to be better. The competition wasn't the others, but it was myself, not anybody else. I left it all out on the court. I gave 100%. I have no regrets, and I'm proud of that. I'm looking forward to what is ahead. I have some exciting projects in my heart that I'd love to accomplish in this next phase in my life. And I would never, ever be up here if it wasn't for everybody that helped me along this road, on and off the court. So I've thanked you, Alvaro. I've thanked Herman Aguero. Late Herman Aguero used to coach me. Liana, you're here. Thank you so much for being here. You know how much I loved your father and how much he helped me. Sven, Craig, thanked you, Nick and Kevin. My strength and conditioning coaches who worked with me. Jose Rincon is here. He was with me when I won the Australian Open in 1995 and trained me. Thank you so much, Jose, for all of the hard work that we did together, and thank you for being here. Mark Verstegen, Xavier Moreau, all the doctors, the physios, the osteos, the massage therapists, Dr. Montalvon, I wouldn't have been able to do anything I did in my career if it wasn't without him. My sparring partners that I had along the way, Ricardo, who's here. Thank you, Ricardo Mendeville, Bobo, Marcelo, Gerald. My agents and supporters, Virginia, Gavin, my lawyer, Bob, who made sure that he read everything before I signed it. What about Bob? And Fabien, my agent who's here with me now, thank you so much for your help and everything that you've done. I want to thank the WTA Tour, and not even the WTA Tour, but the WTA family. The WTA is a family. We spend our lives on the tour, and you guys are giving your lives for us to be able to do what we can do. And I'm so grateful that you're here today, Kathleen, for you and your team, Kathy, keeping my body together, being able to go out and play. I don't know, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Sharka, who's also here. I want to thank Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King called me yesterday to congratulate me. She couldn't be here, but that meant so much to me because I'm so grateful to Billie Jean King for what she has done. And the original 9, Rosie, because if it wasn't for the boldness and the guts of Billie Jean, Rosie, and the original 9, there would have not been a WTA Tour, and I wouldn't have not been able to play. So I'm so grateful for that. To the FFT, the ITF, to all of my wonderful friends who are here, JC in the house, my California mom watching, all other former players. I want to thank the players for making me a better player and a better person, all of the Hall of Famers that have called me and sent me messages over the last few days. Monica especially, who's encouraged me. Thank you so much for being here. And my chosen family, the family of God, and my family that's here from Mauritius that have come to support me, Audrey, Carol, Dash, Biji. Thank you so much for being here. I'm trying to cry last, so I'm thinking, who am I going to share at the end? My family, all of my cousins and aunts, uncles, and friends, because they took care of me when I first arrived. I want to thank my mom. Without you, I wouldn't be here. There aren't really words to express my heart to you and how grateful I am to you and for your life that was given for me and for my tennis every day, 24/7. You didn't work, you stayed at home. You're a professional mom, you're the best. And always a support, always a pillar, and always there taking care of me, helping me all the time, every day, to help me do what I did in my tennis. And I'm just so, so grateful, Mom, for everything that you've done for me and that you're doing for me. And I love you so, so much. Okay, sorry. The last thing, my brother David, I love you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. I wouldn't have done it without you. My best years, 2000, 2005. Thank you so much. To my dad, who did everything for me in the first 8 years of my tennis. To all of my fans, thank you for your love and your support. Merci à tous mes fans qui sont en France. Je vous aime. Thank you for your support. To all my fellow inductees, congratulations. To everyone at the International Tennis Hall of Fame, to Stan, Todd, Diane, everyone who voted for me, thank you so much for making yet another miracle possible in my life today. This is an amazing honor. I'm humbled, privileged to now be a Hall of Famer. I'm so grateful. I will remember this day for the rest of my life. Thank you, everyone. May the Lord bless you, and I give all the glory to the Lord.